Okay, we're just going to do a little review on the coordinate plane before we get into, excuse me, plotting. So here's kind of what your coordinate plane looks like. Okay, we've got our x axis, which is our horizontal. We've got our y axis, which is going to be vertical. One thing you can do to remember that the y is vertical is just your little catchphrase, y to the sky. So if you can remember that y is to the sky, then you can obviously remember that x is the other one. So it's going to be your horizontal. So we've got four quadrants in our coordinate plane, and we actually label them with Roman numerals. So we have quadrant 1 that's in the far or the upper right hand corner. We have quadrant 2 in the upper left. We have quadrant 3 in the lower left, and we have quadrant 4 in the lower right. So when you're looking at this, your origin, the ordered pair for your origin is 0, 0. So this is always 0, 0. And when you guys learn how to plot later, you're always going to start at the origin, okay? And everything on the right-hand side of your x-axis is your positive. Everything above the origin on your y is positive. Everything to the left of your origin is going to be negative, and everything below your origin is going to be negative. So when you guys start learning your x, y, and you're putting your coordinate pairs together, if you have a plot somewhere over here in quadrant 1, doesn't matter, the ordered pair for that is going to be a positive number and a positive number. You're going to have double positive in quadrant 1. If you're in quadrant 2, your x coordinate, this is always your x and this is always your y. Your x coordinate is always going to be negative because you have to move left first on your x axis for your first coordinate. So your x coordinate will always be negative and your y coordinate will always be positive because you're going to go left and then you're going to go up. So anything that's plotted over here is going to have a negative and a positive. Anything that's plotted in quadrant 3 is going to have a negative and a negative. Because if it's in quadrant 3, you're going to the left, which is negative, and you're going down, which is negative. So your ordered pair is going to be a double negative. If you're in quadrant 4, anything that's plotted over here is going to be negative positive. Because, excuse me, totally did that the wrong way. It's going to be positive negative. So you're going to go on your x positive, because you have to travel on your x before you travel on your y. So your x is going to be positive, but your y is going to be negative because you're coming down, okay? So you're going to have double positive, negative positive, negative negative, positive negative, okay? Now the way you can remember the quadrants, because they're a little bit weird, it starts here and kind of goes this direction. Well, if you think about a coordinate plane, it starts with a C. So if you think about your quadrants, they actually go in the shape of a C. Okay, so your quad 1 starts here, you go to quad 2, you go to quad 3, and you go to quad 4. So that's kind of an overview of the coordinate plane and getting ready to learn how to graph.